All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Ali Haji. He is the CEO of Ion Energy. And Ali, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Doing very well, Steve. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, really interesting news release out from the company today showing some pretty positive things. We'll talk about that in just a second, all around one of your projects in Mongolia. So maybe just give everyone a quick refresher on that project.
Yeah, absolutely. Urgakh Naran is a 29,000 hectare license in Dorngovi province, sort of the southern end of Mongolia, very close to the Chinese border. The climate there is a desert, so very low precipitation, high evaporation rates, lots of days of sunshine. But importantly, Urgakh Naran sits within a fault-bound basin. We've identified the basin as about 17,000 hectares in terms of its scale. We ultimately visited the asset this year to kick off an exploration program that consisted of auger drilling. We also did some TEM geophysics across the entire basin. We found volumes that are indicative of about 9.9 billion cubic meters at a half an ohm cutoff, and 22.7 billion cubic meters at a 6.5 ohm cutoff. So very exciting in terms of scale. That kicked off an exploration program that I believe we're about to discuss, Steve.
Yeah, let's talk about that because the results, I imagine you're pretty happy with so far.
We are indeed. We are indeed. So the results have been rather exciting. We've done 3 diamond holes, about 954 meters total at UNDH-01. One of our diamond holes, we have 123 meters at 278 ppm. That's exciting because it's about 122 meters below surface, and 278 is a great grade, located, of course, in that region. Maximum anomaly there was about 832 ppm at UNDH-02, which is about anywhere between 3 and 5 kilometers apart. 100 meters at 362 ppm from 65 meters with a maximum grade of 601 ppm. And then last but not least, at UNDH-03, we had 71.4 meters at 360 ppm lithium. From 3.6 meters, again, with a maximum grade of 911 ppm. So that's extremely exciting for us. If you look at comparisons elsewhere in the world, particularly in North America, Albemarle Silver Peak Mine in Nevada, which is the only producing asset in North America, has an average grade of 121 ppm. So we're very excited with the results that we're seeing so far. Of course, the scale of the asset and the basin is significant. We're very close to the necessary infrastructure for power. And we're just sort of getting started here. We're about a year behind everybody else that didn't have access. We didn't have access to Mongolia because of the pandemic until earlier this year. But we're very excited with what we're seeing right now.
Now, Ali, you also drilled 2 hydrological test wells, and you're drilling a third one right now. Can you explain what those are used for?
Absolutely. When you're drilling for brine, you want to do 2 things. You want to get lithological samples, so that's your diamond, where you're getting actual core out of the ground to have that assayed, and that's what we reported this morning. But in terms of water well drilling, you want to drill a sort of bigger diameter hole. We used a tricone bit, so about 6 inches wide. We put in steel casing, so slotted pipes all the way to the bottom, specifically to allow the brine body to enter that column, which is the slotted water well. We've gravel packed those holes to allow the flow rates to continue. And the goal of those holes, of course, would be to allow the company to submit or insert bailers down to depth, obtain brine samples across the entire brine column, calculate an average grade, get a sense of flow rates, and ultimately allow us to move one step closer to an inferred resource calculation at Urgakh Naran.
Okay, so does that set up sort of what's going to happen in 2023? I know you have some more results you want to get out, but what's sort of the big steps in 2023?
Those are the major steps. So we'll complete the third water well, the hydrogeological well, and then we'll insert our bailers, obtain those average brine samples or average grade calculations, and multiply that by sort of the volume that I discussed earlier. So 9.9 billion cubic meters at half an ohm. 6.5 ohm cutoff, you have 22.7 billion cubic meters. You have an average grade, you multiply that by the volume that we've seen and described in previous press releases, and you're a step closer to inferred resource, which ultimately allows us to understand the actual scale of the asset. But again, very preliminary results, and what we're seeing here are highly encouraging, that show promise with respect to this being a world-class producing mine.
Yeah, very much so. Ali, thanks so much. Great update. Good to talk to you again, and we'll talk soon.
Always a pleasure.
All right, there's Ali Haji, the CEO of Ion Energy.